In the biggest civilization event I have ever played in, Ish scattered 1,000 players onto 4 massive islands, each with its own unique civilization and biome. Players were only told one thing: if we die, we are dead forever. We were given no instructions of what to do, so everything that happened in this event was completely unexpected. Now, without further ado, I present to you the State Experiment. When I was teleported to my island, I was greeted by a very personal message, welcoming me to the desert island and wishing me luck in State Season 2. Looking around, I found that I spawned in a desert valley between a bunch of mountains. When I looked up at the big mountain near me, I started to get an idea for how I could form a society based on the top of the mountain. But for that idea to work, I would need resources. And as you can tell by this lovely environment, there's not a lot to work with here. Hearing that someone on my team had found an oasis, I started heading to the top of the mountain to see if I could spot an oasis or any signs of life near me. While scaling the mountain, I ran into a player named Tennant. We quickly exchanged some gestures of goodwill, and they followed me to the peak. Once we made it to the top, I looked out and only saw the same terrain for as far as the eye could see. Working my way down the far side of the mountain, I found a name tag and started heading to it. As I crested the ridge and looked down at the name, I spotted trees in the distance. Grabbing some sticks on my way down, I ran to the trees as fast as I could. Because of our location in the desert, I knew that food would be critical to our survival. To ensure that I would have access to food for the remainder of the event, I started tearing down grass to get seeds. From there, my next goal was to secure wood to start making tools so that I could mine for resources. Tearing down a whole tree with my fist,
Oh my gosh, there is a pumpkin.
I found a pumpkin in the top of the tree. That's not even supposed to be there. Once the tree was torn out of the ground, I had a total of 17 logs with which to create tools. While looking for a place to mine, I found a horse.
Can I tame this horse?
It was very reluctant to let me tame it, and after, I'm not even joking you, a whole minute of trying to tame it, I gave up and made a crafting table, a wooden pickaxe, and a wooden axe. Finding a bigger tree, I crafted a wooden axe and gathered some more wood. While tearing down this tree, I also made one of the smartest decisions I have ever in an event of this style. I grabbed saplings, and oh boy did that save me later in the video. Now that I had a base amount of wood, I started heading underground to start gathering resources. Mining down, I couldn't seem to find anything. I went through 2 pickaxes before I even found my first pieces of iron. Behind the iron, however, I found a cave. After gathering some more iron and some more coal, I got a furnace and started smelting some iron into iron bars. With the iron that I had smelted down, I got an iron pickaxe that I could use to get diamonds if I find any. I also crafted myself a shield so that I could block the attacks of zombies, skeletons, and creepers. I quickly put that to use when I rounded a corner and stumbled into 2 skeletons. After dealing with them swiftly, I started mining down again and found more iron and some redstone. Throughout the first day, people on the desert team were dying to creepers, and I couldn't figure out how. But as I rounded a corner in a cave, I found myself face to face with 2 of them.
Oh my lord, there's 2 creepers around that corner.
Instead of taking them on with just a stone sword and no armor, I ran away. However, my luck turned right around as I ran into diamonds. Well, maybe not diamonds, more like diamond because there was only one. But anyways, I continued mining and found a lot more iron and other fun resources, such as another diamond. However, getting lonely while mining, I joined a Discord call and cracked a joke about how it would be kind of funny to kill the leader of the biggest faction of the desert island.
Opinion on society leaders?
Negative opinions. Leaders are great and all. Because, if I kill them, then I'll probably get killed before I can kill like 1 or 2 leaders. And I'm not good at PvP, so I'm definitely gonna die.
Apparently, one of the members of the so-called Sultanate was on the call and reported me to the group leader without me even realizing what was happening. Being ignorant to what was happening socially on the server, I continued to mine and find more diamonds. I was not having very good luck, but was able to find some lapis, which would be important for enchanting my gear later. While mining into the walls, I found a vein of 4 diamonds. By far the biggest I had seen on this server thus far. After mining a lot more, and getting even more iron and making myself a full set of iron armor, I would now be set for the next few days. Ish then announced in chat that the server would be closing in 15 minutes. Not wanting to be left underground when the server closed for the night, I started mining up and went through a great many pickaxes. Making it to the surface with just a minute to spare, I started climbing the mountain where I had started on the first day. When I made it to the top of the mountain, I ran into a player by the name of... I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. That player then led me into a house that travelers could visit during their explorations. and I added a sign to the wall with my name and bid them farewell before the server closed for the night. The sun rose on day 2, and I was still in the house on the top of the mountain. I waited for a minute to see if the player that I met yesterday would join, but unfortunately, I didn't see him. Looking down at the very place I had looked down the day before, I found something other than a player at the bottom of the mountain. I found Red, and he was just standing there, menacingly. But now that I was on the surface, with my full iron armor, I could rejoin society and become a major player in server events. Instead of sticking around, I began to look for a good place to set up camp on the mountain. I searched high and low, but settled for a place midway up the mountain, enclosed on 3 sides by rock faces, and the other side facing towards the ocean. Before I could get started on building the foundation of my house, I had to terraform the land that I would be building the house on. While terraforming the land, I ran into a lush cave. This lush cave would be a great addition to the house. I could transform this lush cave into an underground area to put a secret chest room and have a good way to integrate the mine into the build. I proceeded to an overhanging above the cave where I would start to build the house and level the ground. The entire time I was building, I was on the same call as the day before. However, there were some new people that joined today. One of these new players had been hearing about my house building escapades and wanted to join my little faction on the side of the mountain. Heading up to the top of the mountain, I met him at the traveler's house where I stayed the night. He introduced himself as Archimus. Leading him to my humble abode, I showed him around, and he donated some water for the farm that I was gonna make. Now that the water was here, I started making an area for the farm to be situated. After getting the farm situated, I continued working on terraforming the area. After the general building area was looking good, I made a path from the cave past the farms to where the house would be. While doing that, another player from the Discord call stumbled into our base and declared that he wanted to join us, so we accepted him with open arms. The newly branded Mountain Guild now had 3 members and would now qualify as a recognized group. Now that we were recognized, we could post ads in group channels, and people quickly started joining, and before long, we had players coming from near and far. By the end of the day, we would have 7 Mountain Guild members. However, my main goal was to have this house done by the end of day 2. But while I was working on the ground floor, LG Waffle and Zanga came up to my house to map it. They claimed they were going around and mapping all of the big groups and putting it on a map so we could know where everyone was. Knowing that we would want to be recognized by our neighbors, this would be a good way to ensure that our territory would not be taken over by our neighbors, the Sultanate. I gave them our group name and they went on their way. After finishing up the bottom floor of the house, I moved up to the top floor and got the walls up and started filling in some smaller details. But before I could finish the house, the server was closed for the night. On the morning of the 3rd day, I started farming and got lots of wheat to make bread. Then I continued building the house while talking to my teammates. One of our teammates had apparently built a house on top of the mountain on day 1, but a member of the Sultanate built a wall right down the middle of their base, claiming half of it. With this border dispute going on between one of my members and the biggest faction, the leader of the Sultanate, the Sultan, invited us to appeal the actions of the member by coming to his base. I sent my right-hand man Flamingos as an ambassador to talk to the Sultan. That would give me plenty of time to work and finish the house before anything else happened. At the meeting with our representative, the Sultan agreed with us and ordered the removal of the wall, but only if we met him halfway. However, that halfway line was at a very steep cost. We would have to send a list of all of our members, and if any of our players were fugitives, we would have to hand them over. I told our representative to accept the deal so we could move on with our lives, knowing that none of us were fugitives. After handing over the list of everyone on our team, the Sultan told the representative to hand over Ryan for execution.
He said my name?
Yeah, you're part of the group, like part of the wanted list. But
How? What's I do?
Now, that's me, and I'm starting to get worried. If the biggest team on the server wants me dead, one of their almost 50 members will certainly try to kill me. Now, we had 7 people in that Discord call, and the ambassador sent a screenshot of the Sultan's demands in a private chat with only our members.
I posted that in the member announcements. The only people who should be able to see it are, it should be us. As soon as I posted it, he said that I am now on the wanted list for leaking it to the members.
The only way the Sultan could have known that that message was sent was if we had a traitor in our midst. At this point, we could only confirm 2 of the people in the chat were not traitors.
one of the 5
you're-
people in this call.
What is the value in that, though?
We've got Flamingos, we've got me, we got Dikaru, we got Drew Andrew, Hot Potato, King of Player, and Yobi Tan. That's the list of people that we have right now. There's 7 people. They can see this. Flamingos, you've been
Resources?
negotiating the peace the entire time,
There's not really any resources.
and now you're
here.
on the wanted list. So it's not you. So it's one of the 5 people ranked citizen in this call right now.
Everyone besides us was trying not to be accused and started giving reasons of why they wouldn't betray the group. However, one of our players was a dual citizen of our country and the Sultanate.
I will say I would not jeopardize my castle. I've been trying to build this castle up here for the longest, so I definitely don't want to do anything to jeopardize that for sure.
Yobi Tan has been known to be part of the Sultanate. I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying you have said that you're in the Sultanate and still associate with them.
While that was being discovered, a player from the Sultanate started walking down the hill on the route that would bring us to the ocean. It seemed like he was trying to prevent us from escaping on that route. In the middle of our discussion, 2 members from the Sultanate snuck onto our territory and moved into position by the farm.
There's at least a few people from the Sultanate here that look like they're ready to kill some people, so I'm gonna go down into the mine and skedaddle.
on, they would get.
Yeah.
I immediately wanted to flee into the mine, but before I went down, I noticed that I didn't have an axe that I could use to break shields. So I went back up to the surface to craft one. The second after I got it crafted, I turned around and the 2 members from the Sultanate that I had noticed started running towards me.
Really?
PvP's on. PvP's on.
PvP's
Oh,
on.
shit.
Wow.
Oh,
Wait,
shit.
he's
Really?
on. Yep.
I'm booking it. Yeah, I'm out.
So am I. I'm hit
Is
down.
there-
2
what does that
hearts.
gear look? Was it?
1.5.
Okay, I
They're
just made a hot
diamond.
stuff with people.
Hey, I'm down in
Diamond,
the
full
mines.
diamond?
If I wanted to get away, I knew I had to make it to the ocean.
I need the
God
rest of the
dang
guild
it, I
to
just
get
wanted
up on us.
mine.
Yeah,
coming,
there's
I'm
2
coming.
people chasing me.
Only
Do you
2?
need help?
Are they still at? Are you guys still at the mountain?
We're running down the mountain right now.
I see you guys. I see you guys.
And-
There's only. Are there 2 or 3? Because I see 3.
There's 2 chasing me, so that could be the 3rd that you're seeing is me. I'm at half a heart.
There. I see you. Big ass need time to play in Marbu. They're all
Yep.
chasing him. And
This
I see.
is
Yeah, there's more
not
people.
good.
There's more people coming. Classy sandwich. Yeah, they're coming for all you guys.
The Sultan is killing us?
Yep.
Yeah, the Sultan is coming for you guys. They're coming for the those. Yeah, Trucky
Hit the
Kid
ground too
here.
hard.
Everyone's
Oh,
Ryan.
no.
Damn.
After my death, the Mountain Guild disbanded and our territory would lay dormant for the rest of the event, as everyone scattered their own ways. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, as I invested over 50 hours into making this video. Thanks, bye.